Welcome to Cincinnati Soccer Talk, the podcast covering all things soccer in the Queen City. So get in touch, soccer fans. Email us at feedback@cincinnati-soccertalk.com. Now, here's your host, Nick Suberly.
Hey, what's happening, Cincinnati Soccer Talkers? Welcome to CST episode 110. Glad you're with us. Another week, another clean sheet for FC Cincinnati. They blink Indy 11 1-0 on the road in front of a new record crowd for the Indy 11. We're going to talk about that match. And, of course, we're going to be joined by, well, what was a big reason for the fact that FC Cincinnati kept a clean sheet over the weekend. We're going to be joined by FC Cincinnati goalkeeper Evan Newton. He'll be joining us here in just a few moments. We'll get in touch with him, talk about the first two games of the season, and what he is most looking forward to about coming home to Cincinnati and playing in front of the home crowd for the first time in 2018. If you're watching us live on Facebook and YouTube, we'll be reading your comments, so make sure you get in touch with us. You can also tweet us at Cincy Soccer Talk, or better yet, you can email us at feedback@cincinnati-soccertalk.com.
Captains.
Speaking of goalkeepers, we've got a family member of the goalkeeping group as our episode captain tonight. Let's get it up for Dan Village. Dan, thank you so much for supporting us here at Cincinnati Soccer Talk. We really do appreciate you wearing the armband this week for this episode of CST. To learn more about how you can wear an armband for an episode of CST, log on to cincinnati-soccertalk.com/support. Let's welcome in my cast of characters for this week. I'll start first. Fresh off his vacation to Aruba, I'm not even going to try to sing the Beach Boys, but we welcome back Ken Hetker to the show. Ken, how's it going, buddy?
Doing pretty good, Suze. Yeah, fresh off the plane. I guess I wanted to say boat, but fresh off the plane and back in the States. Interesting story. No joke. Went snorkeling down there, got on the catamaran, had my swimsuit on and an FCC hat. Out of the corner of my ear, I hear, "Go FCC." You can't escape it. Tells us how big we are. It's good to be back, and it was painful to miss the game live, but I got the recap and watched the whole thing yesterday. So,
well, we're glad to have you back. I know you're excited to get down to Nippert this upcoming weekend. I'm sure you enjoyed the much warmer weather than what we're seeing here in Ohio. I just spent the last few hours at practice tonight. Whew, you would not know that it is April. It's crazy, but glad to have you back here on the show as well. Of course, we also have back Mr. Boston Brazel. Boston, how are you?
Doing well. Traveled to Charleston, traveled to Indianapolis. I'm taking points back with me everywhere I go. I think I should keep this trend continuing. I'm finally not a bad luck charm. I am Boston, the great luck charm.
Well,
maybe we should.
They're going to put my face on boxes of Lucky Charms. That's what they're going to start doing.
Maybe we should start a Kickstarter for you, and maybe it'll raise more than the $5 our past PA announcer raised, and send you all around this country watching FCC.
Yeah, you know what? My new fundraiser idea is to raise enough money that we can get CST's logo on the fancy new boards they're going to have, field level electronic boards at FC Cincinnati games this year.
Ooh, I like.
That is the voice of Brad Weigel, who started off this episode strong with some heat. How's it going, Brad? Welcome back.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me. I'm just I just wanted to mention how cool it was to see that environment this past Saturday in Indy. I wasn't able to go, but I was able to watch it on TV. And just how about this 110-mile triangle between Cincinnati, Louisville, and Indy? I mean, this is just the hotbed of soccer. And it's cool to see, and I'm excited for Indy, and I'm excited to kick some Louisville ass this weekend.
Well, it wouldn't be an episode of CST without a curse word from Brad Weigel on the show. No, I'm just kidding, Brad. I'm teasing you. As we mentioned, FC Cincinnati gets the win 1-0 over Indy 11, a 26th-minute goal from Emery Welshman off a fine cross into the box from Manu Ledesma. And if it wasn't for a fine double save of a penalty kick from Evan Newton, FC Cincinnati goalkeeper, on Jack McInerney from the Indy 11, and the follow-up shot from Suni Saad. Actually, that might have been Ben Spees. I think it was Ben Spees with the follow-up shot because Saad was a substitute later in the match. This match would not have finished 1-0, but Evan Newton with the heroics there late in the first half. Not a whole lot from an offensive perspective there in the second half for FC Cincinnati. nonetheless, Alan Koch goes on the road, gets his squad to win their second road game of the year. And let's keep this in mind, folks, a little perspective on this. If you look at the USL schedule from 2017, this team won 4 away matches all year last year in USL play. They've already got 2 of them this year. Now, I know we can talk about the play, the style of play. They're getting results. So I'm going to start with you, Boston. What did you make of the match? You were there in person.
I thought we played a lot better than we did in Charleston. I think a lot of the fans are expecting more firepower. You know, we've brought in Ledesma, Lance Lang. We've seen what he can do in the preseason. Welshman's now up top. A lot of fans like that move. We're not sure where Naz is, but we know he's got a great kick, you know, to be able to score goals even from outside the box. So a lot of us thought this season was going to be more we put up 2-3 goals and try to hold the other team to 1 or 2 goals as well. And it's come out. Koch had a different philosophy, I think, than what we were expecting, especially with these road games. And part of me likes it. I mean, to be honest, we struggled last year to close out anyone on the road defensively. And this is a welcome change. These clean sheets, I can't even remember how long we went on this show last season, just begging for a clean sheet. And we're already been spoiled with 2 here.
Yeah, we have. It's I know it hasn't been pretty, and a lot of FC Cincinnati fans have made mention of it on social media. But in the end, I mean, it is a results-based business. Last year, they were not getting these results on the road, Brad. What did you make of the match, and what are your thoughts overall after these first 2 away matches of 2018?
So positives and negatives. It's still early in the season. They're still coming together, and like Boston said, it's great. We got the results. But you know, the USL put it in their 11 things today that we were kind of expecting to see a little bit more from FC Cincinnati, and you know, the defense and specifically Evan Newton has come in huge with their play and you know, cleaning balls off the line and you know, just like I was trying to describe it. It was almost like a swinging door. It was like we'd let Indy have that ball, and then once they got to that final third, we would slam that door closed. They wouldn't have any chance. So there's some good things with the defense. Like I said, I'd like to see us be more dangerous going forward, being able to possess the ball. I feel like it's 2 matches in a row we've had some issues in that area. Alan Koch has made a priority. And so I think if we want to go forward later in the season, we want to be successful, we want to make a playoff run, I think we're going to need to see more and more progress in that area. I don't know if it's change with Naz Abadawi, if it's working on the passing. I know a lot of one-touch balls went straight to Indy this past week. So there's a lot of things, but like you said, we still are we've got 2 wins. When's the last time we started the season off this strong?
It's never happened. It's the best start in franchise history to win back-to-back games to start the season. So, Ken, I know you've made it known amongst us that you're not thrilled with the style of play, but it's also kind of hard to argue with what has transpired in the standings, at least.
You're 100% correct. Results are results. I mean, that's what we play for. We want to win, and that's what matters. However, when I look at the way we play, whether it's because we're on the road and we're just setting up defensively, we score a goal, and to say bunker is not the right word. I think I used the word stick it in neutral and play the game out. I don't know if that's what we want to see, but that's what we have seen in this last game. As Boston said, we looked a little bit better, stronger on the ball. Indy didn't look as dangerous in the second half. It wasn't, you know, shot after shot after shot on Newton. However, I think I made the statement earlier to you guys was from the center circle to the 18-yard box, there is no ball really getting pushed forward. It's all out to the wings and across, and that seems to be the same as last year's strategy or tactic, and that's what concerns me. Maybe it's because we were on the road, we got up a goal early, and that's the way we play. Hopefully we see something a little bit different. other than the win part. I want to see the win still this weekend. So let's just I just hope we see something more offensive.
Well, let's play a little devil's advocate here, because I'm sure at some point the game plan changed significantly, maybe not significantly, but after the 3rd minute crunching tackle on Kenny Walker, who ultimately was basically forced out of the game after that hard hit he took, things changed. Will Seymour came in, and I thought he filled in quite well. I mean, I didn't think that the team skipped a beat, but to be fair to Coach Koch, I mean, I'm sure he's at that point got to make some adjustments, and at least he pressed the right buttons on Saturday night.
Yeah, and if we open up at home, because another thing you got to think about with Indianapolis is it is a smaller pitch. I think it's narrow on both ends, both lengthwise and width. You could noticeably tell there in person with the lengthwise, because a keeper could kick it to the other keeper, and that happens several times. The pitch was also very short turf, so the ball moved very quickly, and I think there were a lot of turnovers on both teams just because of that. And you have to factor all that into gameplay. I think once FC Cincinnati has gone up a goal in both of these matches, they have been more content to let that back line be tested, let Evan Newton be tested. Granted, we don't want to keep testing Evan Newton as much as we have been. The shot ratio was off. And if I had to give you the pluses and the minuses, the minus column, really one of the only minus columns for me was that shot total. Indy had a lot of shots, and we were very fortunate that we left there with 3 points in just that case. But we have a great defense this year. I did not think, going into the season, we would be worried about attack. I still don't think it's a huge reason of concern. I'm hoping that with our own pitch, being at home, finally playing on a full-size pitch, with our fans, that we'll see some goals here come Saturday.
Now, I know, Brad, you've mentioned it quite a bit amongst us that you're a fan of Richie Ryan. What are your thoughts on how he has played, and is there anything you would like to see more of from him in the midfield?
Well, I think that he's done well on the defensive side. He's coming big, especially with all the juggling of partners he's had between Kenny Walker and now Will Seymour. One of the things I did like the preseason is that Will Seymour and him, when they were together, they looked well. But Richie Ryan is one of the most dangerous deep line playmakers in Division II or less soccer in America. He just is. He's got that talent. He's got that quality, and he should be able to distribute the ball and get in places to distribute the ball to Ledesma, to Welshman up top, and he's just not getting the chances. He's not getting the time on the ball. He's not getting that support that will allow him to do that. And I think one of the issues we've had in that, you mentioned going up the wings. I think another one is that the center backs have been bypassing him. They've just been going long, over the top and trying to get Welshman quickly or Ledesma quickly. And part of the 4-2-3-1, you got to spring and go. But I think we're kind of doing a disservice to ourselves, both on the possession side of it and also on the attack, where we're not really linking that back forward to the front. And I think Richie Ryan needs to be the key there. So we need to make sure, in my opinion, I think we need to get him the ball. And you kind of started seeing that late in the second half, and it was working. But just kind of my 2 cents there. But he just has tremendous quality. We just got to give him the ball.
I think, too, we've kind of mentioned it as well in the past here on the show, that I feel like maybe this isn't the right outlook, but I think it's been very clear here in these first 2 weeks, though Ledesma, outside of the free kick in Charleston, wasn't much of a factor last week in Charleston, but played a big part in the match on Saturday night against Indy 11. Ken, I think you're one of those guys who wants to see him getting more involved and maybe not playing out wide, but maybe in more of a central role.
Oh, 100%. Ledesma is one of the best playmakers we have. Him, Naz, Richie Ryan, I think I said those three plus Kenny Walker. Those 4 guys are actually the guys I feel comfortable with on this team that can move within tight space with the ball. And I'd love to see Ledesma move more central, only from the aspect of he could move potentially side to side, depending on tactics. I mean, it's not necessarily formation, it's tactics. But if he's in the center of the pitch, he's going to get more touches, and he can free up Welshman, look at Lang across the field, Corbin Bone or Naz running through. I think it would just help the center of the pitch more.
You're kind of hitting the nail on the head here, Ken. I think the one area we've been missing our whole time in FC Cincinnati history is a field general. We need somebody to take control of the match, put players in the right positions where they need to go, put them in dangerous positions on the field. And I think we just been missing that. We're waiting and waiting for somebody to step up and take care of that role. It just hasn't happened so far.
I do want to give Ledesma credit for that. For being on the wing, I don't know anyone else on this team that could have kicked that assist into Welshman so perfect. I mean, you had Welshman in between two defenders, and that ball was perfectly placed. The whole goal was Ledesma's setup.
Well, I think too. Well, let's give credit where credit is due there, Boston, because a lot of people are going to forget the full length cross to him from Blake Smith. I mean, Blake Smith found him on the other side of the field. It was a fantastic touch from Ledesma, little one touch with his left foot, and found the forehead of Emery Welshman in the. I mean that. Let's talk about the play of Blake Smith at left back, because a lot of people are really excited with how he has performed here earlier in the year, Boston.
Oh, totally agree. That play was exactly what you said. Blake Smith over to Ledesma. Ledesma places the ball exactly where it needs to go. If he's a foot off either way, I don't know that goal happens. It's easily defended.
Anybody else have any thoughts on the play of Blake Smith early on, Ken?
I think Blake does well. I
do you not want to see him attacking so much?
I would say, yeah, I would say that statement is accurate. I am not 100% sold on our tactics right now, and I don't want to say he's not the right fit. I just don't know what we're doing right now, and I'm a little baffled. That's the best I can say.
It's not that he's playing bad.
It's not that he's playing bad. I'm trying to understand the tactics that he's up the pitch, Hoyt's up the pitch, Ledesma's up the pitch, everybody's up the pitch, sort of, except, and I feel like we're getting countered a little bit every now and then.
Watching a Tottenham fan, they play a similar system to what we're trying to do, and their fullbacks, both of them, get up the field the whole time. We just keep turning the damn ball over too much. That is a big point of concern for me. And maybe it was the field this past Saturday. I know it looked a little bit rough, and I know we had some issues with it again in the first match. Whereas we're trying to hit all these quick little passes. We're not trapping. We're not looking, seeing our options. We're just trying to, before you even kick it, you're just one touch passing it, and it's long passes, and they were going straight to Indy. So if you got Blake Smith running up the left side trying to overlap Lance Lang, and all of a sudden somebody does a bad pass, one touch pass, and kick it straight to Indy, well, no joke, it's going to be tough for Blake Smith, because he's up the field, what he's supposed to be doing, but he's got to count on his teammates to not turn the ball over. And I think that's been a big part in the midfield, big part of the issue why we can't do anything in the attack wise, because we can't hold on to the ball.
I think one of the things too that's being overlooked, at least right now with Smith, is I really like the relationship that he and Lang have formed early on this season. I saw it down in Florida personally. There was a couple through balls that he hit to Lance Lang. Lang got to it on the end of it there at the end line. Could have got across into Walker, but just couldn't get it to work. I think the combination of Lang and Smith on that left side has some potential. Now, they're still learning to play with one another as well, just like everybody else. I mean, Smith entered camp, I guess it was about midway through camp down at IMG, but, there's potential there. You kind of see glimpses. But you're right. If we continue to turn the ball over like we have, it's just not going to work.
Yeah, I agree with both you guys. The one thing, I think we have to get central, and I keep saying that, and I'm going to use an American football term. You use the run to set up the pass. You use the pass to set up the run. I think if you don't go central, you're not going to free up the wing, and we just keep shooting it down the wing, and the guys are like, Ledesma's cornered. The sideline is a defender on him, and I think we're doing him a disservice by putting him out that wide if you can't allow him to use his feet to make a play, because defenders just can play him right into the sideline. So that's my concern, and I don't want to get too far into tactics. We won, and that's the best part.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the thing we need to highlight here is, we're coming off on some recommendations, and I think we just want to make sure that this team's set up for long-term success. We have the individual talent. We've seen in the first two matches individual moments of brilliance scored those goals, and that's why we're up 1-0. And then we had a guy just absolutely rocket and goal with Evan Newton standing on his head. So I think we're all still excited about this team. We just want to keep this engine going, keep it progressing, and see that cohesion that, like a Louisville last year or Tampa Bay last year that led to a lot of success.
In the end, all that really matters, again, is that FC Cincinnati got 3 points on the road. They got 12 points on the road all of last year. They've got 6 now. And a big reason for that is because of the effort of Evan Newton in goal, standing on his head, saving a penalty kick, saving a rebound. And the birthday boy now joins us on the Kings Hammer Hotline. We welcome Evan Newton onto the show. Evan, congratulations. Happy birthday. How are you, man?
What's up, guys? How are we doing?
We're doing very well. Thanks for being with us here on Cincinnati Soccer Talk. Let's talk about your 2 clean sheets to start the year. Down in Charleston, you made some amazing saves to keep that a clean sheet there. And then obviously we know about your double effort over the weekend. Is this the best start you've had to a season?
It's definitely a good start. I think things have gone well for me. I've personally I've worked hard the last couple off seasons just to continue to take my game to the next level, and had some great coaches, and my goalkeeper coach in Sacramento was fantastic, and then Jack Stern's been awesome. I really enjoy working with him, and I just feel good going into every game each week, and fortunately I've been able to start well, and the guys in front of me have been playing fantastic too, battling for each other, and so things are going good. 6 points on the road and against 2 very good teams is can't. Obviously, you're always going to take little things and try to learn, but I think if you asked us at the beginning of the season, 6 points out of the first 2 away in Charleston and away in Indy, I think you'd be pretty happy with that.
Let's talk about the big moment in the match there late in the first half for you. I think we would all be safe to say after watching countless replays of the initial call, you got the ball, right? I mean, that's not a penalty.
Yeah, I was a little bit nervous when it happened because he dragged his feet a little bit.
Typical striker, right?
A little bit before. Yeah, I mean, he was looking for it, and I was in his ear a little bit, like walking up to the spot, just saying how it was kind of a little bit cheap, and and he was even like, "Hey, man, I'm trying to get something," So I mean, he's doing his job, trying to get a call, and which I think is a little bit cheap from my position, right? So it is what it is, but fortunately I was able to make the save. But I definitely got a little bit of the ball before he started dragging his feet and kind of looking for the call. I think that's the only reason I really hit his feet was because he kind of like ran into me, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree 100%. Let's talk about the penalty, though. I mean, did you know it all the way, or is obviously the goalkeeper union doesn't want to give up all of their secrets here, but was this a pure guess, or was there something that he gave away that you knew he was going to go to your left?
I just read a little bit, a couple of my cues that I look for, and kind of had me thinking where he might be going. And then as he approached it, I stuck with what I was thinking, and and then it's kind of an educated guess, It's the best way I like to describe it. You kind of try to take the best guess you can, and as well as get a little bit lucky with that guess, right? And unfortunately, he went that way, and was able to make a play on it.
So,
but yeah, man,
part of the.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. A big part of the goalkeeping core, your duties is not just protecting that net, which you've done a great job of. It's also working with that back line.
Thank you.
Allen went out there and, got some great defenders. How has that back line gelled? And I guess what I'm asking is, how easy is it for you to work with them and, instruct them how you want them to play, especially lining up free kicks, etc.?
Yeah, I mean, our squad from top to bottom is experienced. I mean, even guys that, aren't dressing right now are like top quality players, you know what I mean? So it's a very experienced team, and the guys in front of me from the defenders to midfielders to forwards are all working together, and obviously we needed to gel a little bit through the preseason. I think that's a big reason we were in so early, but yeah, it's slowly coming together. I think you can kind of see it every week. It gets a little bit better, and we have a lot of quality on the team, and we're starting to gel, and we're battling for each other, and that's a big thing, especially in the pro game when people want to fight for each other. And I think as time goes, it will just continue to gel more and more, and then we'll get to know each other better, and that talent will continue to come forth to the forefront more and more. I think against Charleston, you saw we had some really good spurts for the first 30 minutes, and then kind of battled for a lot of the game, but we got out with a win. And then I think we had more good spurts for longer periods in this game, and hopefully we can just keep moving forward with that. But our talent level is very high. It's just having all the little things coming together is what will continue to take us to the top.
We've had quite the success story in goal in FC Cincinnati the last couple of years with Mitch Hildebrand, especially Sorokes in the Open Cup, and he's been beloved in this town, and rightly so. He's gone, and so do you feel kind of pressure stepping into his shoes, being the key to our defensive unit there, and what kind of pressure did it make fill those shoes, or maybe gloves for a better term?
Yeah, man, Mitch had a great time here in Cincinnati, and built a good following for himself, and he did well for himself here, to be fair. And he got a move to Atlanta, which is nice. So he did well. I mean, for me, I don't really look at it in like a pressure. Obviously, like people can say big shoes to fill or whatever. I'm just coming out working hard and trying to do the best I can personally. And I don't want to be like Mitch. I'm not going to be like Mitch. We're totally different goalkeepers, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but I'm just not. I'm not him. He had his time and did his thing, and now it's a new time for the goalkeepers that are in now, and we're going to do our best to help this team be successful. And all three. Jack's the goalkeeper too, because he likes to train all the time with us. But I think he's trying to win a contract. But no, all of us work well together, man, and we have fun. And the other two guys are great goalkeepers, great guys, and we're just trying to help the team win the best we can. And right now, my name's getting called, and obviously, I would love for that to happen. A lot of games this season, but I mean, so are the other two guys. So it keeps me on my toes with those guys, and it helps me to get better, and hopefully it's helping them to get better. And if we're all getting better, then it's just a positive, right? So for the whole team. So I mean, Mitch had his time, and had a great time here, and you have to respect what he did. But I don't think any of us three are anything like him, and we're going to be totally different goalkeepers, and maybe have a different kind of a mark we leave on this place, So I don't know. And Sacramento was a kind of a pressure place from an individual standpoint. There's a lot of pressure there, so kind of got used to that. And this is just very similar environment to Sacramento. Just the city's a little bigger, the fans base is a little bigger, and stadium's a little bigger, and so everything's just a little bit more here. So that was a good experience for me as well in Sacramento to get used to that kind of like, you know, mini Europe, I used to call it, type pressure, you know.
Hey Evan, this is Ken.
Especially with Brian, you know, had one bad game and he was all over me in Sacramento. Huh? Freaking talk about the pressure, right?
I don't know if he was over you.
He was excited to talk to me. And now he's telling me he's excited to talk to me, but I'm messing with you. But those are the kind of things, you know, you got used to in Sacramento, and then you know, it's fun, man, and the fact that people care and give you crap, it means it matters, and that's what you want soccer to be in this country. You want people to care about it, and in the profession we're in, you know, you put yourself in that situation, and it's fun, man. It's fun, and I'm excited to get out there on Saturday at Nippert, and hopefully we can get another 3 points, man.
Hey, Evan, I just want to point something out real quick. If you do see a redhead and you think it might be Brian, make sure he's got glasses, because that's Brian. Don't be coming around me if I don't have any glasses. That's how you can tell us apart, man. I didn't throw any shade. I didn't throw any shade your guys' way.
Man, it's all good. I gotta give him some crap, you know. But it's all fun, man. And do I?
I said he's felt it. He's felt it.
So Evan, you said
hey,
you like.
Yeah.
I was going to say you said you liked Sacramento. You called it a little mini Europe, but how excited are you to come play at Nippert in front of Louisville with potentially 30,000 fans? Maybe a little bit of pressure there.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun, man. You know, now that I'm old, you know, and 30 years old, now the pressure's a little less. You know, you kind of go out and enjoy it more, and just enjoy the moments. God willing, have many more years left to play this game and as my profession. But yeah, the more times you get put in these situations, you just kind of learn that you just go enjoy it and have fun with it, and you can't really control anything but how you play and what the cards are going to fall, how they fall, and you just move forward. So just like the first two games, for our team, the cards have fallen well, and we're going to keep trying to do that. And we're really excited to come in with 6 points, and Louisville has 6 points, I believe. And on top of it, it's a huge derby match. And basically, I mean, the rankings came out. I think Louisville is number 1 in the league right now from their standpoint, and we're number 2. So, and then we're squaring off at Nippert this weekend. I mean, it's gonna be a fun one. I think it's gonna be a special environment, and that's why you play this game. You know, that's why you do it for moments like this. So I'm excited, and I think all the guys are super excited.
I got to ask, you know, obviously this is the biggest game. We circled this game, weeks in advance. Do you feel it already? Is this something, being new to the city, is it something from a rivalry perspective that you're already feeling that, you know, how big of a game this really is?
Kind of. I mean, they're all big for me, to be fair, and I think for the team, obviously it's a rivalry match. But I think Indy was kind of a new one too that we've created, and I mean, look at the turnout that came out in general. I mean, their turnout and then our turnout was unbelievable. And that was a fun one, cool atmosphere at a cool stadium, and this one obviously I've heard about and I'm excited to be a part of, but you just gotta look at it as any other game. I mean, if you start as a player thinking about like the magnitude and who it is and all that, like that's when you're just overthinking. You just, I want to win every game no matter who it is, and I'm going to take that same approach going out this weekend against Louisville, and hopefully that's enough to get a result.
Hey, you've been getting around the community lately. We saw you last week in visiting people in the hospital. Wanted to find out, is that a big part of what you do, not just being the keeper and showing up on game days, but also trying to connect with the fans in the community?
Yeah, I appreciate that question. That's actually all really what I'm about. I'm a faith-based guy, and I've kind of over the last few years I've gotten more involved in communities where I've been at, and built relationships with families, and I did a lot of hospital work in Sacramento. Is a big thing I did, just on my own, and it's been great here. I've talked to the club when I first signed, and they've been working on it. And I was able to get into the hospital for the first time the other day. Obviously, that picture was tweeted out. Ethan's mom tweeted out, and it's gotten like huge likes and retweets and all that, which to me, that's what it's all about. I mean, as players, I think we have a large responsibility. I mean, to not to like use our platform for good. And for me, I used to be kind of just, it's all about, everything's about soccer. Life's about soccer. That's kind of what my identity was as a person, which might sound silly, but it is. I mean, that's what my whole life was about. And I've just been on kind of a journey over the last few years. And now for me, it's just like being able to use this platform that I have, being an athlete to ultimately impact is kind of where what I'm excited about. I love winning. I love soccer. It's my passion. It's my love. But I think my purpose is way bigger than soccer. So that's what, going to the hospital is one thing I love doing, and boosting the morale of the kids in there is because it's such a huge thing. Sitting in a hospital like that for 50, 60, 70, 80, sometimes 90 days. And the morale is just huge for those kids. And if I can just take some of my time to go in there and spend an hour or something with them to just help them out, it's pretty easy for me to do that. We can talk like, oh, I'm busy, but that's important stuff. So, and other things that I like to get involved with, but it's not about that, the media and all that for me. It's more, I appreciate the question. I appreciate you asking me about it, but it's just something I enjoy doing. And I think that's the ultimately bigger purpose for it all for me, other than, just playing soccer. Cause that's just what I've been blessed to do for a living for the last 8 years. And, but what am I leaving behind? You know what I mean? That's kind of how I think about it.
That's awesome, man. I really just appreciate you doing that, and the club that supports you guys there. It's been one of the unique things about FC Cincinnati the last couple of years. Really from the beginning is community outreach, getting out there and then taking care of the community. But we had a couple listener questions for you, so they wanted to get your opinions here. First one I have is from Eric Ritzman. He wants to know, on game day, what pumps you up? What's in those headphones?
Honestly, I don't listen to much music on game day, except for I listen to. I have a couple of worship songs I listen to, like when I'm my final kind of preparations, just like stretching and stuff before I jump in the shower and while I'm getting ready. But and then every now and again I'll throw on like. It's kind of funny about how I listen to some worship songs and I throw on like Lupe Fiasco Superstar at the end just to like, get in that mindset, I guess. But I don't really listen to headphones in the locker room or anything like that. I like to just kind of be present with the guys and joking around and just enjoying, the moment,
And then another one here comes from Susie Langren, and she wanted to know, because we had Jack Stern on the show early, and he's kind of become a little fan favorite here. She wants to know, what is the best piece of advice he's given you so far with your time here?
The best piece of advice Jack's given me.
Yeah.
I know Jack's listening too, so I have to say something really good.
Maybe like, don't let them score.
Yeah, no.
Jack's like a wall,
great, man. I really, yeah. I don't know if it's really anything in particular, like one saying or something. It's just in general. He brings energy every day. His training sessions are different, but like I've really enjoyed them. The way that he likes to train is kind of a new style, and it's really, really cool, and I enjoy it. I think it's definitely helped me already, and I can feel myself continuing to get better every day. So I think it might not be exactly what he's saying, but it's just like what he's doing every day, like how he's helping us, his sessions, just being there to chat with. He's a cool. We have a blast. All four of us have a good time, and I think that when you're coming to work every day enjoying it, that makes a big difference.
All right. So I'm getting questions as well via social media, and somebody wants to know, how does it feel? How did it feel when you found out you were a wall, and what'd your family have to say about that?
When I was a wall?
That you became a wall.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that happened to me. But
well, I tell you what, we put this interview up online, and somebody said, why would you interview a wall? This is going to be pretty boring.
That's pretty funny, actually. I saw that. Yeah, I mean, I laugh, man, at some of these, and I think it's hysterical. I laugh in a good way. I think, like I said, like the more people care, like the better. That's what you want in this country with the sport, and it's fun, man. It's fun to see. You take it and you laugh with it, you laugh at it, just depending on what it says. But I don't know. Look, man, I'm just going out there trying to play the best I can to help us win, and all the other guys are doing the same. I've had a good 2 games, but this profession and especially this position as a goalkeeper, it's not about 1 or 2 performances. It's about consistency. So I've prided myself on consistency throughout my career, and I'm just going to keep trying to be as consistent as I can. I'm going to have ups and downs, and you guys are going to have to ride with me through that. And so if I do have a down, or when I do, because it's inevitable, Brian, please take it easy next time. It's one preseason game, Brian. Jeez. But
well, he did,
man,
Evan. He did tell us this. He said he is more than willing to stand in goal and let you pelt shots at him to make up for it. So,
well, I might take him up on that. Actually, he probably doesn't think I would, but maybe I will. At halftime this weekend, in front of the whole stadium.
Oh,
no!
Instead of sprinkles, put Brian in there.
That'd be great.
Yeah, but no, man. It's look, it's just trying. I've tried to be consistent throughout my career, and I think one of my mentors is John Bush, and he said to me a long time ago, is you obviously got to come up with huge saves. It's part of the at the next level, you got to make big saves for your team, but it's he would always stress, like, your day in and day out consistency is what's huge, because at the end of the day, your coach has to have his job's on the line when he picks the team every week, and so he has to be willing to trust you enough to put his job on the line and put you between the pipes every weekend. And you're going to pick a consistent guy, and that's my position, but also every other position. So for me, it's just trying to do it every day, and so I'm fortunate. I've had 2 good ones, but it's all about the season, man. So hopefully at the end of the year, we're holding a trophy, and that's all I care about.
Well, that's all we care about too, Evan. We appreciate you spending some time with us. We hope you had a really good birthday over the weekend. Did you? And I know since we chatted with you down in Florida, have you had a chance to get some Skyline chili?
How did I know this question was coming up?
Come on, you knew it was coming.
I haven't had the Skyline chili yet. I'm sorry. A couple people actually told me just to act like I've had it and say it's really good, but I'm not gonna. You know what? I'm not gonna do that because I haven't had it yet.
Well, good.
And
too busy eating that Graders, right?
And Bill was supposed to get me a lifetime supply of Skyline, and he hasn't come through yet on that either. So I think I'm just waiting for that.
All right, well, we'll make sure that happens.
I got a question. I don't know if this is like a sin like here in Cincinnati or what, but like it's always Skyline. Why does no one ever say, like, have you had, the other chili?
Oh, are you talking about Gold Star?
Is that
Gold Star's crap?
You didn't hear me. I didn't say the name. I just asked why it's always the one, because they're both here.
That's a good question.
Teach me, guys.
There's no real, it's just, I don't know. It's more, I guess, more nationally known, and that's kind of our thing.
It'll taste better. Skyline's got the cinnamon in it.
Skyline tastes better, and Gold Star uses stale buns.
Well, there goes our sponsorship opportunity.
It's trash. It's just trash. Go to Blue Ash Chili, go to Dixie, go to Price.
Guys, I'm causing controversy.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Some people on Facebook are disagreeing. So I think there are plenty of Cincinnatians that like Gold Star, but we are not among them.
Was Gold Star from here?
Yes. Yeah. Gold Star is another Cincinnati chili chain. So.
I was just curious, not to cause too much, debate, but I was just, it's always like, have you had Skyline? No one's ever, hey, have you had Gold Star yet? I was just curious. I've had neither though.
Well, we'll have to make sure that happens. Maybe after the season.
Whichever one gives me lifetime supply, I'll go there all the time.
All right, Skyline, you listen every week. We do this every time, so get on that, Skyline. Evan, appreciate you being with us. Congratulations on the start. Do us a favor. Can you get one more clean sheet this weekend? Because we hate seeing those guys in purple score goals.
I'm going to try my best, man. And I know the guys in front of me will too. So hopefully we can do that. And I think as long as we win, everybody will be happy for sure. So
absolutely.
I'm excited for us to score some goals too and hear the home stadium go crazy, man. I have some family coming in town, and it's gonna be fun. So they're excited for the atmosphere they've heard about.
Good stuff as always, and happy birthday, Evan. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much, guys. Thanks for having me. Have a good night.
You too, Evan. That's Evan Newton, the goalkeeper of the week, save of the week honoree or winner in week 1 of the season, joining us here on the Kings Hammer Hotline. That was a really good interview. A lot of fun. Really appreciate Evan being with us.
Is there any debate now who's the favorite twin of the FC Cincinnati players?
Yep. I think you single-handedly have that captured.
I think they got a dartboard with his face in the locker room.
No, that's why they have clean sheets and are winning every game. That's their pregame ritual. They walk in there and just
Hey, dude, if him getting them pissed makes him go out and put 2 clean sheets up and 2 wins away, man, we might have to have this become a little bit of a thing.
Yeah. We'll tell Brian to go out there and yell some more.
Poor guy. He's gonna kick my ass tomorrow.
Oh boy. Oh man, that's funny. We really appreciate Evan being with us here on the Kings Hammer Hotline. That was a lot of fun. You can let us know what you thought of that interview. Feedback at CincinnatiSoccerTalk.com. It is that time of the month. It's the first week of the month, and this is where we say thank you to all of our supporters. And we announce everybody's names. So, if you want to get involved in the Growler Cup, if you want to support the show, and you want to have your name read on this show, you got to go support us. CincinnatiSoccerTalk.com/support. So first, let's give it up for Tim Bronsel and Kings Hammer. Tim, thank you for your support. Matt Adamczyk, Pat Suberling, Brian Malone, Jamie Smed, Mike Hudson, Jonas Tom, Jack Emery, Mike Bowman, Kathleen Francis, Jesse King, Teresa Everidge, Jesse Gill, Arthur Oliva, Brian Griffin, Reese Johnson, Josh Leese, Harry Austin, Josh Staley, Beverly Sparger, Matt Imholt, Paul Hetger, Ken's brother. Let's see here. Mattis Brumbach, Courtney Rice, Joe Collier, Christina Sharma, Nate Hale, Adam Alexander, Mike Berryman, Dan Village, our episode captain tonight, Jeff Egan, Matthew Ryan, Joseph Wells, Stephen Buckeridge, Alec Mackey, John Davidson, Patrick Lonnie, Dave Tangler, Alex Yersky, Alex Pennington, Chris DeMeo, Claire Hughes, Carl Feit, Scott Griffith, Derek Smed, Greg Harrell, Jack Doyle, Walker Tice, the Superfan, Tom Grabo, Christina Haithcote, Christopher Howard, Sarah Spriggs, Michael Winland, Scott Party, Richard Rolson, Jamie Smed again, Brandon Jones, Shima John, and Gary Randolph, Anthony Stork, Kevin Johnston, Doug Ross, and Andy Rosen. Thank you so much to each and every one of you for supporting us here at Cincinnati Soccer Talk. We really, really do appreciate it. Well, that's odd. That normally doesn't happen. Hello, Cincinnati Soccer Talk.
Hi. Hi, this is Deputy Laverne Rowland from the Jefferson County, Kentucky Sheriff's Office. We have an inmate placing a call to you. Do you accept?
Sure. Yeah, we accept.
All right, boys, thank God it's Easter weekend because I'm back from the dead.
Hello, Bill. How's it going?
Oh, boys.
Going good.
It's good. It could be going better. I ain't gonna lie. It could be going better. I'm sorry I haven't called in a long time.
Clearly you've been busy. What are you in for?
Well, I am currently in prison down in ye old Louisville, and I bet you cannot guess what I went to jail for.
I got no idea.
I was wearing a mask and walking around when this dang old sheriff came up to me and said, "Son, you can't be wearing that mask," and he threw me right in the slammer.
Is that against the rules now?
Well, apparently it is. See, while I was here, my cellmate informed me that they were citing people at the stadium for it. Now I was charged with armed robbery because I was trying to rob a Circuit City, but it turns out you also can't wear a mask. And my buddy here, he's in the cell. You probably know him. He's the one who told me about the whole ordeal. You want to say hi? Oh, he's being a little bashful, but you guys know James O'Connor?
Oh, yeah, we know James O'Connor.
Yeah, James is here because it seems he got in some trouble this weekend when his Radio Shack closed. He went out to the front, was trying to steal the grass to try and use it in his crappy stadium.
Man, he's got.
But
He's got a big
honest
game
with you,
this
boys.
week.
I feel pretty bad for James. I mean, let me give credit where credit's due. Louisville City FC did win a championship last year. All credit where credit's due. But you got to feel bad because, despite winning the championship, the biggest sports story is still the fact that Rick Pitino hired strippers and hookers. Yeah, you heard that right, James. Sorry. No one cares about your crappy team, your crappy field. Well, except the Bats. People like the Bats.
Man, I
anyway,
can't believe
how you boys been?
Oh, we're doing really well, Bill. We're really excited. Are you going to be able? Now, I know you're calling from the Slammer down in Louisville, as they like to say. Will you be able to attend this weekend's festivities there at Nippert Stadium?
Yeah. I'm hoping to get on. I'm actually hoping to be out on bail, and I'm going to be catching the Greyhound on up. So I'm kind of taking a bus because I missed this past weekend's bus trip, and I'm sure I'll be riding with a bunch of comic book costume wearing morons. But yeah, I'm hoping to be at Nipper. I'm trying to snag a Bailey ticket. But I tell you what, man, that Bailey Facebook page, you just can't find anything on there except stadium speculation. Which, by the way, I know where the stadium is not going.
Oh yeah, you got a little breaking news for us here, Bill?
Yeah, it ain't going to Oakley because Oakley is Brokely. You heard that right. The town of Oakley ain't got no money. They got none. Still, and if you think it's going to the West End, brother, you better believe that ain't going to happen. It's going to Newport. The team sponsorship is changing. Newport cigarettes, and the away jerseys are going to say Newport menthol.
444-4444, Bill. That's the number.
Dude, that's who I called. Blake Mason, he already got me out. I'll be up there on Tuesday.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, Bill. Oh, we've missed you, man. Do us a favor. Will you stay out of trouble so you can call some more?
Every night.
Whoa. Well, thank you, Bill. Yeah, do us a favor. Hello? You still there? There we go. Must be that jail cell connection you got going on. We miss you. Stay out of trouble so you can call us a little bit more often, will you?
Yeah. I'll see what I can do. No guarantees this weekend. We'll see what happens at that old that Mecklenburg Gardens. That's where I'm planning to be with that. I can't remember the name of that stupid supporters group, the Nescott or whatever. But I'll be up there with a case of Bud Light, sitting on the corner, waiting to light some flares. I'll see you there.
Appreciate it, Bill. Be safe, buddy.
Hey, you be safe too. God bless. Much love.
Much love. See you, Bill. That's Bill Grandisto giving us a call. Collect from the jail down
Jefferson County.
Oh, that is great. Oh, we've missed Bill. That was good stuff there. I don't even know where to go from that.
Well, I read that Louisville did not detain any fans, but now that I know the only fan they detained is Bill Carrasco, it makes sense they left him off the report. That's not a face you want to run in the newspaper.
No, for sure. I would have kept the mask on. Oh, that is great. So make sure you get subscribed to Cincinnati Soccer Talk because we're going to have another March to Match Day this week. Brian Weigel is going to bring it to you. We're going to give you a little more in-depth analysis, predictions as far as the upcoming match for FC Cincinnati against Louisville, so you won't want to miss that. Get subscribed to our show so you don't miss a single episode of March to Match Day. It's a really good show that Brian does. And even I got to give him props. Last week's show with Nipun Chopra from Sock Takes covering Indy 11 was a really good show. So make sure you get subscribed so you don't miss that. The Growler Cup is going on right now. If you want to get involved, it's not too late. CincinnatiSoccerTalk.com/support is where you can do that. You can make your Growler Cup picks there. We're not really making predictions here so much on the show anymore like we have done in years past. We've changed it up a little bit. And I know we harp on it. Maybe harp's not the right word, but we talk about attendance quite a bit. And I kind of threw it out to the guys earlier this week on CST, how many people we think are going to be in the stands. Now, in year one, I nailed it. I was within 1,000. I said they're going to top 30,000 for Saturday night. Anybody want to take me up on that? Any takers?
Yeah.
Boston, you're a gambling man.
Yeah, I think you're wrong. I think I hope you're right, but I think the weather is really cold. Unless something changes here in a couple days, I am happy to see that the rain's staying away. That increases it a couple thousand for me. I'm going 27.
All right.
Okay.
How about you, Ken?
Is this like Price is Right? Can I say one? But I'm just kidding. I'm going to say about 25.5.
All right. How about you, Brad?
Probably thinking 25 as well. Not because of support, but if it's gonna be 35 degrees, if it would be 60, we'd have 30,000 there.
Well, they're already over 21.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm doing my part. I'm bringing some Knoxville people up for their first game. So
nice. Me and the family, we are making the trip down as well. Ben's got a soccer game in the morning that we've got to be there for that. Then we'll be making our way down. This is the third straight home opener we've been to, so looking forward to getting down there. If you see us, stop us, say hi, let us know if you like the show, what we can do better. But seriously, give us, stop us, pull us aside, and say, hey, love the show, love what you guys are doing at CST. Don't be shy. Even though Boston's mean, he still likes hearing that feedback. No, I'm kidding, Boston.
No, totally. Yeah, come say hi to us. Tell me how good I am and how terrible Brian is, and I will smile.
Oh, man. Brian got, saw that coming, didn't we, guys? Anyway, we move on. Believe it or not, we ran through that hour. That was a fun show. Brad, I know you got a big one coming up here in the next couple weeks. 2 weeks from tonight. Fill us in.
Yeah, we're going to be at the Buffalo Wings and Rings over at Oakley Station at 7 p.m. on Monday, April 16th. So that is 2 weeks. They should be a great time. Hope they have everybody out with some giveaways as well, just like our Buckethead show where we packed that place out. So hope to see y'all there in 2 weeks. Looks like we're going to have Yosef and Bill Wolf with us this time.
Very cool. Buffalo Wings and Rings, I believe is what it is there.
Buffalo Wings and Rings, and then after party at Yosef's.
Did he give you approval for that?
We don't need it.
Nope, that's what I had a feeling we were going there. Yeah,
I was always told it's better to ask for forgiveness later.
Yep, that's my philosophy. It usually works here in my household. Right, Sarah? Oh, I'm sorry. We move on as we begin to wrap things up here. I mentioned March to Match Day. Don't miss that. TIFO night coming up, depending on when you listen to this, April 3rd, beginning at 6:30 p.m. at 1 Lewis Court in Ludlow, Kentucky. Make sure you're there. Go get involved with the TIFO. It's going to be a good one. Indy's TIFO, by the way. Really, really cool. How big was that thing, Boston?
Ooh, man. It was big. Bigger than any I've ever seen in person, including our own. They got a celebrity shout-out from Millie Bobby Brown, too. So I think last I looked at 30,000 likes on Twitter. This is killing it.
Yeah, it was really good. And we have to give them props. Indy 11 smashing their home attendance record, 17,535. Their previous high was just over 11,000. So they would have broken it even without the 1,500 or so FC Cincinnati fans that had gone to Indy. So major props to them. I know we are rivals and we don't want to see, other teams beat us on the pitch, but I think we would all agree that it was a good night for Indy 11, and hopefully they continue to progress forward and keep that momentum going, even though the pitch was a little rough. But first game, that's a solid showing, no question about it. All right, I believe it is time we begin to wrap things up here on episode 110. I'll start with Ken. Ken, again, we appreciate you being with us. I know you've been busy with Aruba and everything, and you've got a busy next few weeks, but we appreciate you being with us. Your final thoughts as we get out of here?
Yeah, it's been a good run here, and I gotta have surgery next week, so I'll be out for the next few weeks. But as Subes was saying, he went through the reading of every person who's contributed to the show, which we love. Don't get me wrong, but another thing that we did recently was have an NCAA tournament challenge, and we had like 130 something entries, and we are down to basically 2 people, and I think the 2 entry names were I Love Gary Clark and #1 XU fan. So if Villanova wins, I think the Xavier fan wins, and if Michigan wins, it'll be the I Love Gary Clark. I want to congratulate whomever those were, and thank you for participating. Your contributions allow us to do things like this, even though it was sort of free, but they'll get a Dutch Lion shirt, I think, Boston.
Yeah, I got a jersey and a season ticket.
And a season ticket to the winner. So thanks for participating, and we'll try and keep doing more of this stuff for you guys.
It's real convenient. Hang on, Boston, before you get to that thought, because I know where you're going with that. Real convenient that Ken schedules his knee surgery after Aruba. Smooth. That was very smart of you.
And after Louisville. That was that was the actual reason why I held out.
Well done. Well done. Well, we'll be thinking about you. We'll be keeping you busy, I'm sure, the next few weeks as you're cooped up, but we appreciate you being with us.
Thanks.
All right, Boston, fill us in. I know we're going to be giving away some season tickets for the Dutch Lions over the next few weeks.
Yeah, I want to give them a shout out. We've partnered together this year. We're going to be doing some really cool things together. So stay tuned as it gets closer to their season, which starts in May. We're really going to be ramping up some cool partnership opportunities. But to kind of help spur that ramp up, we're going to be giving away season tickets for their season and maybe a couple other cool promos, starting with this NCAA bracket. Also want to make sure you fans stay hyped this week. We are doing the best we've ever done. Come out Saturday. FC Cincinnati sold all those cool blankets for a reason, so you can still come out and wear them. And then TIFO night. If you've never done a TIFO night, I mean, that's actually how I got on this show. I met Brian at a TIFO night. It is a great way to meet some of the craziest hardcore fans that love this club and give so much of their time. And to be a part of something like that is truly special.
Good stuff, Boston. As always, appreciate you being with us.
Always a pleasure, Subes.
And last but not least, we throw it over to Brad Weigel.
I know we've talked tonight and in the last couple weeks about how we want the play to improve and you just to keep progressing. That's probably the best words. Keep progressing, especially going forward. But one of the coolest things that I saw watching the match on Saturday was after the final whistle, you had Dekel Kynan and Forrest Lasser just absolutely lose their mind. I know Brian's called them the Bash Brothers on here, but those guys were just so pumped up to go into Indy and win that match and do it for the fans. And you could just see on their faces how much they care. And that's just, it just means the world to me that just to see that on our players' faces. So, I'm really confident in these guys, what they're going to do on the pitch. We're loaded with talent. I think they're going to keep progressing and see how, keep moving forward. But I just think we're in good hands with these guys on the field. And I can't wait to see Dekel especially take down some Lou City guys this Saturday.
I can't wait to see you this weekend, Brad. It's been too long. Appreciate you being with us this week.
Hey, man, thanks for having me. Looking forward to seeing the family down here.
My final thoughts as we begin to get out of here, and I kind of want to kind of piggyback on what you said about the reaction. If you go back and you watch the penalty kick save, and then the save that immediately followed that, you see Kynan go absolutely nuts on Evan Newton. Go back and watch the replay. It was pretty cool. Speaking of replays, I believe it was at Truth Adair on Twitter posted a video of the goal. He happened to be filming right there in front of where it happened, and he gets the reaction of basically the whole cheering section there at Lucas Oil Stadium. My favorite part at the very end of that video, you just see one little solitary blue streamer come flying into the frame and hit the field. Loved that touch. Well done. Whoever threw that streamer, I hope you remain anonymous, but well done. That was pretty cool. So that was some good stuff there. Of course, we've got 2 ticket giveaways that we've got going on right now. We are giving away tickets over on Twitter. So go follow us on Twitter at Cincy Soccer Talk. And we're also giving away 2 tickets this week on Facebook. So 2 tickets on Twitter, 2 tickets on Facebook. So if you're listening to this episode and you haven't got tickets yet, you got a chance. So go over there to both of our social media platforms there. Get involved. Really easy to enter. For more information, again, go to at Cincy Soccer Talk on Twitter and Facebook.com/Cincinnati Soccer Talk. This show is a listener-supported show. As I mentioned, we listed off all those names. Big thanks to Dan Village for being the episode captain this week. If you want to get involved and help support the show, you can over at CincinnatiSoccerTalk.com/support. And if you don't want to help us out financially, we certainly understand. Everybody's got things going on. They may not be able to contribute financially. You can rate and review the show on iTunes. It doesn't cost you a penny. So go over to CincinnatiSoccerTalk.com/iTunes. That is going to do it for this episode of CST. Our thanks to Evan Newton, FC Cincinnati goalkeeper, for joining us this week. And, of course, my thanks to Boston Brazil, Brad Weigel, and Ken Hetker. I'm Subes, reminding you all to watch your tackles. Have a blast down at Nippert Stadium. Can't wait to get down there and beat those Cards. See you next week, everybody. Did I say beat those Cards? What a terrible way to end. Beat those Louisville City purple whatever. There we go. I'm getting out of here now. It's been too long. See you, everybody.
I can't wait till we have the shootout between Newton and Brian.
Brian said one shot. Sube said